Hello, hello, friends. Welcome back to the Blushing Mint. It is Dion, and I am so happy to be back here with you guys. It feels like forever for me, even though it's only been maybe 10 days or so since I last recorded. You guys have seen videos in the interim with a few days of lapse. But anyway, I am back in my craft shed for a moment, and I just needed a little bit of getaway craft time. And I decided I was going to do a little work on the cover for our new journal. And then I got to thinking, you know what, maybe I need to stop for a second, and I actually need to record what I'm doing because it is part of the process. And so you've missed a few things, but I thought right now what I'm getting ready to do is I'm actually getting ready to sew the signatures into this cover. And so I thought, whoa, hold the phone, back up. I need to bring my friends with me so they can see what I've got going on. In the interim, all I have done, guys, is I have taken my little envelope and I attached a few little fabric reinforcers where I attached the grommets to put the ribbon closure. So this is our ribbon closure, and I wanted to get these things on here first before I attached anything else with the cover and or started sewing in my signatures. I needed to have that done. So that's really all I have done. That's the only thing you guys have missed. And then what I did is, where I'm at right now is I cut basically a chipboard template that is the width and nearly the height of my spine, what's going to be the spine of our signature. Of our journal. And so I cut a template when I do this that fits in here. And this way I can make sure that when I sew my signatures in, everything is aligned appropriately. So what I have done is I know my spine is a 1-inch spine, okay? So, and the spine is, if this is the cover, the spine is what we attach everything to and how our book stays together. So this is the spine. It's 1 inch. Excuse me. So I cut a 1-inch piece of chipboard. Then what I have done is I have scored it. I don't know how well you can see this, but in the very center, I have scored this. So it's going to make sense when I go through here. But my journal is only made up of 2 signatures. Remember, we have these 2 signatures, and the signatures are essentially basically what the book pages are made of. And I'm going to go through and I'm going to do an anatomy of a book and a journal for you another time. But we know that we have the 2 signatures that make up our journal. So what I have done is then I have essentially divided my 1-inch spine. I've got the center here. So I take my center out. Now, if I had 3 signatures, it would be super easy because I would have a signature here on the quarter mark. I'd have a signature on the half mark, and I'd have a signature at the 3/4 mark. So then they would be evenly spaced within my journal. So then I would have 3. Well, I only have 2. So I leave the center out here, and then I just basically divide that in 2. So I have 1/4 and 3/4, and then we'll have a gap in the center where these signatures sit. And it will all make sense as we line up. But that is all I have done. And then so I've drawn my lines. So I have my half, or my quarter, and my 3/4, and my half is scored. Then I take and I find the center of this gap, of my spine, and I draw a line here, because when I sew in my signatures, I sew in a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. So I need 3 holes. So I always find the center, because that of course is what makes sense. So then I found my center, and then I always like to be about 1 1/4 to 1 1/2 inches from the top of my the top of my journal. That way it just, I can easily catch all of my pages that way. And so then I do 1 1/2 or 1 1/4 inches. I think I did these 1 1/4 inches if I'm not mistaken. Yep, 1 1/4 inches. So then I did my 1 1/4 inch lines. And now what I was getting ready to do when I realized that maybe I ought to bring y'all along with me is I was getting ready to use my awl to, what I do then is I literally just punch through the cross section of where my 2 lines meet, not my center, just my 2 lines here. And so I'm going to do that. And this is just for ease when I am getting ready to put these in my journal. I see company coming. Hold on 1 second. Sorry about that. My husband came home and came directly out to my shed instead of going into the house. So anyway, pardon me. So I finish and I poke my holes right through those cross sections. And now what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to bring this over here with my cover, and I'm going to place this in the center. And what I like to do is I have these little metal bulldog clips here, I think is what they call them. I don't know. They're just binder clips to me. But what I like to do is I like to clip these in so that it's secure and I don't have to worry about holding it. And I like to make sure that it's perfectly in the center there. Get these back out of the way. And then I go back into these holes right into the spine, and I don't even have to think about it because they are exactly where I need them to be. So now I've punched my spine. Whoop. See? And now my holes in my spine, and I don't know how well you can see this with this, but my holes are there and I don't have to worry about those anymore. They are good to go. See if I can, I don't know if that's coming across to you guys on camera or not. Now what I do is I would grab my signature, and then I'm going to take this, and where I scored it, I'm going to fold it in half on that score line. Then I'm going to punch the centers on that score line and on our line here. Okay. And I'm not going to do this because I'm not 100% ready to sew these in yet, but I have a little bit of work I want to do on these still, but I will show you. So then, if this signature was 100% ready, I get all my papers lined up. I bring my little clips back. I clip my pages down here. Then I grab my spine, making sure always that my top is at top, my bottom is at bottom. That's why I have written that on there, top and bottom. You're probably wondering about that. And then this goes into the center. I push it in really good. And then all I have to do is I get to take and I get my awl and I go straight through the center here, fold my book up nice and tight, and it will pop through the back here. Now, I'm not ready for that, so I'm not going to do that because I still want to figure out what I'm going to do here. But I thought, oh gosh, I better not. I wanted to bring you guys along here real quick while I showed you how I create my template for sewing in my signatures into my little journal here. So I was going to see if I put a piece of paper back behind this, if it allows you to see those any better. It really doesn't. It doesn't help. It doesn't help, friends. I don't know. But anyway, so that is how I create my template for my spine, and then how I get ready to start sewing in my signatures. So super quick video for you for today, just to show you where I'm at and what my process is. And then next time I will come at you sewing these signatures into the journal. And then we are that much closer to being almost finished with this journal. So anyway, just a super quick one. Again, thank you guys for joining me. Thank you for always commenting, for your kind comments, for sharing my videos, and just for hanging out with me when I craft and chat. I hope this was helpful and easy as mud, they say. And then when the next time we'll get together, we'll start putting things together. So thank you for being here. And until the next time that we craft and chat, you guys have a great day. Take care, and we'll chat with you all again soon. Bye-bye.